Gilly tour bus, which was brand new. A tour bus was just unheard of. Very few people to have it. Well, the tour bus was sitting out there, and it was called the Red Rose Express. And so Gary said, "Man, Tom, do you think there's any chance we could just look at it?" I mean, we'd never seen a tour bus. Like now it's, no normal shit. And we're talking 1974. And he said, "I'll have to ask Mickey." So Gary asked him, he said, "Well, if you get a chance, don't put yourself out." He said, "No, I'll talk to him. We got another little gig up here, 2 or 3 songs." So he asked Mickey, and Mickey said, "You're going to have to ask Sherwood Cryer." Well, everybody thought Mickey Gilly, it was Gillies and all that, thought Mickey owned everything. No, it was a guy named Sherwood Cryer, originally born poor as shit from Diboll, Texas, but he was a mob guy. And so Tom asked Mickey, "How can we talk to him?" He said, "We'll go back in the back there. You know where Sherwood's office." He said, "He won't care." So he said, "Some of my friends from Lufkin I was raised with would just want to walk in and look at it." And he said, "You talk to Mickey?" And he said, "Yeah." He said, "Yeah, sure. Y'all don't mess nothing up." So we got to go on the bus. That was a big thing. And we sat in there and drank a beer at the table in the booth. And man, this is unreal. And got to talking. And so Tom sitting there going, he said, "Man, Mickey, y'all doing good." He said, "Oh, this is fixing to be our biggest year." And I'll never forget this. He said, "What is it?" He said, "Well," he said, "we done got the word. Sherwood's done told us that Mickey's fixing to win 10 awards this year. And he's fixing to go through the top." Of course, he was a good talent. Now, don't never misunderstand that. He wasn't a very talented guy and put out good music. He said, "How do you know that the year?" He said, "Oh, we've already been told." And I said, "Well, yeah, but who told you?" He said, "Sherwood." I said, "How does Sherwood know that?" He said, "Well, him and Hugh Hefner were buddies. And Hugh controls all that. Hugh Hefner controls all of that shit." This is a fact. I'm not lying to you. I'm not lying to you. Hugh Hefner and Sherwood Cryer were buddies. And Hugh Hefner got so powerful that he dictated to Hollywood and all kinds of shit. He was a very powerful man. And Mickey Gilly won all 10 #1 awards that year. Fact of life. And that puts Mickey Gilly free. Well, Mickey wanted to get out from under Sherwood. So the next thing you know, and it was the most popular bar in Texas, was Gilly's. And it wasn't fancy. It was an old shack looking place, but it was huge. A dance floor. Freaking dance floor as far as from here, that cow up yonder.
Biggest honky tonk in the United States at the time.
When you walk in the door, you look to your left about as far as from here to the back of my black pickup right yonder. And it goes as far as here, that cow. And there was the bull in the corner with all the pads and shit.
Yeah.
It was right there. And then they had a bar that took that back corner over there to your left. And it'd go like from my little blue truck to shit. Probably not quite to that cow up yonder. But one bar. Huge. And it'd have some of them deals you'd fold up and walk out between. And I don't know how many bartenders and shit there was. And then the dance floor, all this was dance floor. And then they had a big stand for the band. It was quite something to see. I went there about 5 times total.
But it got important because Gilly was important.
Yes. But Sherwood owned everything.
But Sherwood owned it, just called it Gilly's.
Yeah, because Mickey Gilly.
But Sherwood was friends with Hugh Hefner.
Yeah.
Hugh Hefner controlled the power of it. So Hugh Hefner basically made Gilly famous.
Yeah.
Which in turn made Sherwood Cryer worth even more money because Gilly's become the most popular thing there was. It's so popular that Electric Cowboy happens.
Jimmy Newman, wife, was a personal secretary for Sherwood Cryer. Okay? And I used to hear some stories, and they had right there on Red Bluff, they had a big old barn looking thing. And you go upstairs, and it was elaborate shit. And the bottom of it was just an old barn, had a long, long porch. It was about wide as this. Had chairs all down through there, and tables and shit. And it was an ice house where they had garage doors opened up. Well, upstairs, and we went up there one time, and I mean, it's one of the most, you would think you was in a 5-star hotel. But you look outside, it was corrugated tin outside. Ugly looking old building. But that was Sherwood's. And I can't remember her name, Sue or something. Anyway, but Sherwood told Mickey, this is going to be a year. Well, Mickey made it. But Sherwood told Mickey what he could and couldn't do. And Sherwood made most of the money. So Mickey started trying to separate from Sherwood, and it got to be pretty nasty. But in the midst of all this, Gilly's burned to the ground.
Magically.
And Mickey Gilly started Branton, Missouri.
Yeah.
And he died up there, and he made it big up there. And he got away from Sherwood. And he knew he had to get out of Pasadena, Texas, or he wouldn't live.
Yeah.
Sherwood had so much power. Pasadena was dry county, right in the middle of Houston. Well, you're in part of Pasadena when you go to Velocity.
Yeah.
Okay? All of that Spencer Highway and shit. And Mickey Gillies was on Spencer Highway.
Mm.
Where we cross over, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, back up there. Okay. Well, Sherwood, they come in with a liquor store and built it. It was a big, nice liquor store. And Jimmy Newsom's wife was telling us about it. Said it's fixing to come to a damn showdown. And said they built that big liquor store, and it was called, anyway, like today's Specs Liquor, but it wasn't Specs or nothing. And Sherwood owned little dumps, but all the liquor, all the beer sales, everything went to Sherwood Cryer in Pasadena. So they built that store, and she said Sherwood went over there last week and told them, nice store, and I'll give you this much money for it. And they said it ain't for sale. And Sherwood told them and said, now we need to work together on this so we don't have a big problem. He said, if there's a liquor store in this town, it's mine. And you're not gonna build in my town. They said, we're open, get over it. Within 3-4 weeks, that liquor store was on the ground, burned down. Cops said, looks like an accident. That's something caught on fire in it, no problem. Sherwood was never checked or searched or nothing. And he called, Sherwood told him, said, don't come in here building again, because probably gonna be some lives lost next time. And everybody yelled, but Sherwood had some connections, and he had a mob. But if you didn't cross him or nothing, I was around them, but you didn't worry about it, because they wasn't gonna bother you. It's just that this is my place. And like they said the other night on there, New York was way safer when the mob run it than it is now. Said the crime in New York City used to be minimal. And the only time there was bad crime is when two of the mobs fought each other and they killed each other off. And a few people would get killed or whatever in the gunfire. But they said it was so much safer back then than it is now when the mobs run it. And now the government runs it. It's way more dangerous with the government. So yeah, I believe it. I don't have no problem believing any of that. Yeah. I don't know it to be true, but you ain't gonna see me flinch.